Hey guys, I thought I'd do a update on models I'm building continuously. The wife just gave me grief on this one because it's like 2 years in the process, and I haven't really done that much. I'm getting closer. The color is the problem. I haven't just figured out a classic color. I don't want to copy the box, but I want to do something with the same classic feel to it. And also the tires were an issue. Like, the problem was, I'll show you what I've been doing here. This is what they look like factory. Real smooth. I guess fine if you rough them up and make them for oval track, but I wanted this to be a dirt track car. So you can kind of see here what I've been doing. Kind of been cutting grooves in it. Also putting some road rash on the side. That's the inside, which you won't see that seam. And the outside. This one I put a little damage to it. Looked like I'd been in a good race. And here's a complete one. Kind of happy with the way this one turned out. Looks like it's got some tread on it, or at least, like I said, this also has some road rash on it. This edge here, like stuck up way too much. Here you can see better on this one. Yeah, you can't really see it, but because the way this pushes this up, it's got a really high ridge on it. That's why I've been taking that edge off first and then doing that to give it some tread pattern. But the only thing I truly got done is the motor, paint wise. Still got to add starter and some stuff. Now I wish I went back and maybe mellowed out that intake or painted it look like aluminum. Or actually what I might think about doing is, I've seen guys dechrome stuff. I might dechrome it because this is an older car. Chances of it having a fancy chrome intake and all that was slim, so I might do that, take it down. Probably should do the same thing with the oil pan, get rid of the chrome. Maybe do a nice gold and get a gold that looks like the plating that's done on valve covers. Try that. But body wise, yeah, it's practically still in the bag. Haven't done nothing with it. Like I said, can't come up with a color on that one yet. I'll show you what I used to do this with, and I was going to do a review of this tool anyways. It comes with a lot of stuff, all sorts of goodies. For what they sell it for, it's completely useless, but for models it's perfect because it doesn't have a lot of power. The same even on models and plastic, if you put too much pressure, it will just come to a stop. I used a little steel wheel to make that tire pattern. I bought this at Harbor Freight. It was like $8. You get one of those 20% off coupons they mail to you. If you get on the email thing, it's even cheaper. Or at least takes care of the taxes. But yeah, this thing's perfect. I use it for grinding and all sorts of stuff. I'll show you more what I've been doing with the grinding. Because it doesn't take too much off. That's what I like. It won't destroy these delicate bodies. So, and this is the project. Little Red Wagon wheel stander. I can get it done now. I wanted to copy the 8 3/4 rear end before I assembled it. Also with this thing came with you can build it stock, so it has some steely wheels. So I've been molding all that, and somebody gave me these Buick wheels, so I've been copying those too. But so far, I'm happy with it. The color is a little flatter than I would like. I think I might have missed the paint up there. But the thing I did not like about this kit, or it's been in pain in the neck, is the hinges. I ended up gluing this one completely shut because it will not work. Two problems. The hinge piece they tell you to put in glue inside the body doesn't fit. You got to cut it down to even get it to fit. The doors have to be filed down. They don't fit. They're really bad down here. But this one opens and closes anyway, so that's fine. I mean, it's only going to have one seat in, so I'm building it as a wheel sander, so I guess driver's door opening is all you need to worry about. So that's about it. Now that I got the rear end copied, I can finish painting the frame black and installing that and finishing it up. The engine is also done on this one. I did not bring it out here to show you, but anyways, so that's what's going on with that. It should be done here sooner or later. And the long-term derby project, I actually have been working on this one. There's the kit right there. I didn't want to build it as stock, as you might see there. You can go back to my videos, or if you just know me on Facebook, you can see the orange one I finished. I actually finished it years ago, but I repainted it to colors I've actually ran, because basically I've been making, and this one will also be a tribute to all the cars I've ran in the past. Mostly the cars that have actually won or placed really well, so doing tributes to those cars. And I'll show you what I'm doing on this one. It's been highly modified in many ways. It's a two-door, which I've only run one two-door and I didn't like it. But anyways, since most of my car has been four doors, I wanted to make a four-door. And I think I might have goofed this up, because I think I wanted to make it a four-door Impala, not a Caprice. But the way I could fix it, I could fill this in, because actually my cars didn't have this back window. And I don't think the cars that have this back window are Impalas. I think they're all Caprices. You guys can tell me. So technically, I don't think this B pillar is supposed to be here. But there you go. You can kind of get the idea of I was turned into a four-door. Now, I notice you'll see the door handle in the groove here. What I'm going to do when I'm to the point, because this has like a molded-in chrome trim. If you look really close, there's even an Impala emblem there. Every cars don't have that, of course. So I don't want to do like people do, because I don't plate mine, like, you know, putting plates on my cars anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand all this stuff off that sticks out. Then I will go get some body filler to fill in the grooves. Except I won't be filling this one. What I'll actually be doing there, I'll tell you in a second. But, you know, I'll fill in this groove, and I'll cut new ones, carve new ones to make it look like a four-door. And then I'll go back probably with the filler, or I might just, instead of cutting the grooves, maybe there's a better way of I'll try and find some thin piece of plastic or something, because I'd like to recreate the way I weld my doors, which is like rebar and that. So just put some lines that look like weld, or we'll see. I'll experiment with some things. You can see the inside, cut it out for the I'll glue all this in, make it look better. I think I'll fill this side in, but, you know, cut it out so the shifter will be here and give it a more, I like the floor pan look of the frame than the interior piece. I actually cut this perfect. This actually will fit perfect in line with the speaker shelf that broke off, because I cut too much of it, but I can glue it in when I'm ready. Now the frame I got really insane with. This is a combination of two kits. I actually took the rear axle and front suspension off this car, and I built the wagon. You can also see in my YouTube or Facebook page. So what I did with this one is I went completely insane and hand-formed front rails that look more factory. I cut the wheel wells out of the body so I can glue them back in later and make it look more realistic. But I took this front suspension, which is more realistic to this car than what came with it. It had something that had single control arms, straight control arms, or strut rods, and these cars never came with strut rods. And these actually look like GM control arms. There's some upper ones that will be put in after the fact. The crossmember wasn't that great, so you see I've been filling it in. And the blue stuff you see is I've just been using modeling clay, so I can pour the plastic right onto the part and mold it in. But this is what I've been using that little grinder for, is casting it the best I can with the clay, and then rounding the edges off and making more of the shape of a Chevy frame rails. And you can see where I've started making the little frame horn pieces, like factory frame horn pieces. I'll build those up a little bit better and make it better, but there you go, you get the idea. I gotta trim the back section, see how that's square. I gotta trim that down to make it look like the back of the mounts that Chevys have. But I'm happy with it. I got all the steering linkage and everything cut off because I'm gonna remount it differently so it looks more realistic. The only thing that kind of stinks is these studs for the wheels are way too high because the car was lowered that I made this kit from, or I stole the suspension from, so I'll have to fix that because nobody wants a lowrider derby car. But there you go. I think once it's done, I still got some more work to do. I think it's gonna look pretty realistic. And I'll have to build I'm not happy with the core support on that thing either, so I'll do the same thing. I'll build up the core support, get a more realistic look. Hard-nosed bumper. The bumpers are already built. I've got quite a few of those. They're the one molding kit that I've made. I've copied the bumpers and made a more realistic cut down ones. Those have been coming out real good. That mold works good. I'll still have to do some more trimming. You can see where I just rough cut it. And that's why I'm glad I got that, as I can go back and clean all this up nice and neat. Not too neat, because you still want to make it look like a derby car. I ain't too concerned with the frame here. I think that looks fine. I will do some work back here. The same thing up there. Cut out the gas tank, I think, and fill it in, and might work on making this back end look more realistic. I may make a more realistic rear bumper too and mount it properly, but as you can see, ain't too bad, but that's much better looking that way, so we'll probably go in that direction back here. But anyways, thought I'd give you an update on what I've been doing model wise. Like most of you guys, winter, you're probably doing models. It's now warm here in Arizona, so I'm going to get back to derby cars and other things, but I will keep you updated on these. See ya.